Team 1 for a few different reasons. One of them being I heard really good things about Team 1 from some of the girls on my high school team who had played there the past year and really enjoyed it. So a good word of mouth was definitely a strong thing in my decision. And once I came to Team 1 at tryouts and I did a private before I tried out, I could just really tell that the coaches and the people at Team 1 really believed in me and they wanted me to succeed, and just that strong feeling of other people believing in me, I knew would push me to grow and become the best player I could be that year.
Alright, so something I really appreciate about being at Team 1 is that I get the chance to play indoor and beach volleyball. So being a setter, it's just two completely different games. In indoor, I set all the time. In beach, you don't really set that much. And so in beach, I get the chance to develop my hitting skills and develop my defensive skills, and so that translates to my indoor game too. I'm able to jump higher for blocking, I'm able to read the hitters better on defense, I'm a lot faster getting to the ball, and it just, each game, like the beach and indoor game, they help each other to both improve together.
I chose Team 1 because I was just like super interested in volleyball and even beach volleyball. I've never played beach volleyball before Team 1, but around the Midwest you don't have many clubs that offer indoor and sand volleyball. It was just like really awesome to be kind of thrown into the sand. Along with our indoor training, I was on 16 Zen, and a lot of our teams here, we practice not only on like in the indoors, like we practice in the sand courts too. We do like conditioning in the sand, and that just gives us such like a better workout. Team 1 is different because they don't discriminate against players' height. Team 1 really looks at a player as a whole and not just like how tall they are or what their physical stature looks like. They totally just like see past that and look more of who you are as a person, your attitude, and what your just like abilities are. Because somebody who's 5'6" could potentially jump higher than someone who's like around 5'8". You don't know that just by looking at someone, so Team 1 just gives everybody a chance in the tryout, and based on that and what they truly see and become to know about you, they put you on a team, and you could even be an outside hitter if you're 5'6". Like it's all just, it depends on like who you are and like what abilities you have, rather than just how you appear to people. Personally, I'm 5'7", and I got the chance to play outside right side hitter on our top team, our top 16s team last year. And it was just super fun because if I went to a normal club, like I would have to like continually prove myself again and again that I actually can hit, because I just look like someone who plays back row. So I really like how Team 1 just gives everybody a chance and doesn't just make assumptions off people like from the first impression.
I came to Team 1 my 15th year after I had tried out at another club and ended up not making it. Team 1 was another club that I had heard about and really liked. I tried out here the year before, really liked it, but just chose another direction. And I think that not making that other club ended up being the best thing that had happened to me, because finding Team 1, coming here and just experiencing the family that it had to offer and meeting so many great people was just like, it has changed my life completely. Team 1 offers so much that I didn't find at any other club, and I'm so grateful for everything that I've found here.
Training here at Team 1 is not every single practice and every single drill has to be super complicated. We focus on the details, and that has really correlated to our success. Like our indoor 16 Zen team, we finished top 10 at every tournament, and for the Great Lakes Power League, which I'm sure if you're watching this you're familiar with, we started in like J or K or something like that, and every single weekend we kept moving up brackets, and our team ended up in the A bracket competing for that first place spot. And we ended up finishing like the top 12 because of the points you get for the whole tournament, but like we were playing that championship match. And it's just really cool to see how focused we are in practice and how that correlated into our success, because you don't need to run like a bunch of fancy drills, but focusing on the details really does help you in a game, and it showed on our team for sure.
Our practices were so much different than other clubs. Like most clubs expect you to be at the practice for 4 hours, like 5 days a week, like crazy times like that where you feel like you're just like wasting your time there. But at Team One, if you come to your practice ready and like 100% focused, like you'll see the results. And we don't have to practice 5 days a week for 5 hours or like crazy times like that. Like we come 3 days a week, we're ready at practice, ready to go, we're focused, and we put in the work that needs to be put in.
And I think that the beach game helps, like Sydney was saying, your indoor game grow so much. Being a libero and DS, and having to cover almost that entire court by yourself in beach, coming back to indoor, it almost seems so impossible that a ball could ever touch the ground because now you have 6 people covering the court instead of just 2. And I think that learning to read the hitters and cover so much ground really just makes the indoor game become even more simple than it already is.
I feel like one of the bigger things that beach helps with indoor is like getting more control over like every touch that you make, because in beach you're forced to make every touch controlled because it's just 2 partners on a court instead of 6 people on a court on one side. So you really have to control the game and make sure every touch counts, and that like easily translates into indoor, and it makes like your team all around better. It makes you an all around better player because you're just so controlled on making that one touch good.
I'm just overall like really grateful for the experience of being able to play beach and and indoor at the same time, because for me, my goal is to play indoor in college, but playing beach at the same time is making my indoor game just so much stronger overall. And just because like you want to play beach in college or just because you want to play indoor in college, like doesn't mean you have to play only one of them here at Team One. You have the chance of doing both, which can overall help either one of them for you. And I feel like being able to get to play both is just like you're just so thankful for it in the end.
Okay, so Team One offers a great balance in many different ways. We don't only focus on like physical training and technical training for volleyball. We also really emphasize on your mental training because as like a competitive volleyball player, you need to be really strong mentally. It's a very big part of the game that a lot of people don't realize. And it also offers a nice balance in like the rest of your life between school and family and just everything else. Like, it just offers a really great balance.
Yeah, I would say that Team One is very understanding of you as a volleyball player and also you as a person. You're allowed to take study days, or the coaches and the program in general is just very understanding that you do have other things going on in your life. You are a student athlete, and the word student being emphasized. Just everyone at Team One really wants you to be successful in every aspect of your life, so there's not that continued pressure that the only thing we're thinking about here is volleyball.
Another big part of that is what she said about that pressure. Being our age, there's a lot of girls that struggle with their confidence and struggle a lot mentally with some different parts of their life. And I think at some other clubs, there's a lot of pressure that everything's volleyball and you have to be perfect in your technique, you have to be reaching for the highest team and everything. And I think that just puts a lot of strain on those mental struggles. But I think Team One really understands that not everything is going to be about volleyball. Sometimes you're going to have issues in other parts of your life, and there's coaches that are always open to help you with anything that you need. We have a program here called Team One Discovery that focuses in a lot on building your confidence as a teenager and what you can do to get through some of those tough situations. I know me and Caitlin both were big members of that group. We offer different expeditions just to build like that family feel in the group. We both went to Costa Rica, and it was an amazing experience just to learn so much about how to deal with different aspects of your life in a more positive, confident way.
I would say that the Team One Discovery family is something that everyone should be a part of, just to have that open environment where you can talk to other people about the things you're going through, because we're all going through similar problems and things in our lives. So just to have those people that you can talk about that with and kind of deal with it together is really beneficial. And our program does offer it for all of our ages, all the way from, there's a 14s group all the way up through 16s and 18s. There's a group that somewhere you can fit into and find your place.
Yeah, and believe it or not, like your mental game and it physically correlates with your like volleyball playing. Like if you're not in a good place mentally, like you're gonna struggle on the court, like it's gonna come out, you can't hide it. And so putting in the time to work on your mental strength in TOD or just like talking to everyone, it really helps your volleyball game too. Okay, so there is a lot of information out there about every club, including Team 1, that isn't necessarily true. And so at the end of the day, when you are experiencing these pressures from your high school coaches or your friends or your teammates, you need to know that at the end of the day, it's your decision, it's your life, and you need to do what's best for you and your family. Of course, we would love you to come to Team 1. Personally, coming to Team 1 has changed my life in so many ways. The most special thing I think that I've gotten out of Team 1 is all the friendships. These girls have honestly become my best friends. I know I can trust them with anything. The environment is just so open and friendly. All the coaches are awesome. Our experience at tournaments and practices, like you shouldn't dread coming to practice and coming to Team 1. And if you ask any girl who plays here, I'm sure they'll tell you how fun they are. Like, I look forward to coming to practice every day because I know I'm going to be challenged as a player. I know I'm going to be challenged as a person to be the best player and volleyball player I can be. And I know I'm going to like see my teammates that like I love so dearly, and just everything about Team 1. It's hard to put into words until you experience it.
Okay, the fact that we have Team 1 Discovery and coaches that are willing to dedicate so much of their time to us and our personal growth, it just makes the quality of our training program and our coaching just amazing, because I know we're all so grateful for our coaches and just how much effort they put into us. Our quality of our training, we train very hard 3 days a week during the club season, and we put in like extra days too. You can always come in and ask for extra help with the coaches because they're willing to just give you anything you need, especially for your success, because they just are really giving and they always support us and our decisions. So I think that's a really good part about Team 1.
Team 1 Discovery is just like a really good place to have a strong support system, because in high school it can get a little tricky with like friend groups and like who you can trust and like who to go to if you need help. So Team 1 Discovery is just like a place that's just always there for anyone to go to if they're like struggling with something, they need help, whatever. Like it's just always there.
And things we talk about like in Team 1 Discovery, they may not pertain to your life at that moment, but we like to use the metaphor of a toolbox. Like everything we learn, we put into this toolbox, and somewhere in our lives down the road in like 5 years or 10 years when we're in a job or in college or something, and we're gonna come across these struggles, we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, we talked about this, I know how to handle it, and it'll make the situation just resolve a lot easier.
Another thing I think beach helps with is training that mental confidence again, because if you think about it, with two people on the court, one of you is going to be the one to make the mistake. And if you're a player that gets very in your head, very emotional over making those mistakes and messing up in front of other people or in front of your partner even, sometimes that can be a struggle. But I think we focus a lot on training your confidence and being a more confident player all around, because being just one of two people on a court, you have to be a supportive player for your partner and for yourself. And I think that translates, if you're a dual player playing beach and indoor, that translates for you to be a better leader on the court with 6 people. And I think it helps a lot just all around in your life to be a more confident person and have a lot more strength in knowing that you're able to get a perfect touch on that ball. And even if you do mess up, like, you can still play confidently.
Okay, so another great thing that you develop in beach is a higher vertical. Jumping on hard court versus jumping in the sand is completely different. In the sand, when you jump, it absorbs like half of your energy, right? So your vertical gets cut in half, and all of a sudden you're like, how am I supposed to jump? How am I supposed to hit it? It's like insane. But eventually throughout the beach season, you get better at it, and your legs get so much stronger. So coming back to the hard court, when you jump, like you feel like you're flying. Like it's insane. And once the hitters come back, like these two hitters, they're not the tallest players, but when they come back, like they're just jumping so much higher. They're like, wait, why is it hitting me like down here? It's because you have gained so many inches for your vertical, and eventually you'll adjust to your new jump, I guess. And it just like helps them jump higher, see the court better, tool the block, hit harder. Just everything is so much better because of your vertical.
I think the vertical has really helped these two, especially. As Sydney said, they're not the tallest players, but they play like they are. They play with that same confidence that taller players have, because they've developed that vertical, and they know that you don't have to be the tallest player to be able to succeed in volleyball, in both beach and indoor. By working on your control and other aspects, you can really succeed rather than just having to be tall to succeed. Another really unique aspect about beach volleyball that I didn't know when I started is that it is a collegiate sport, one of the newest. There's a ton of new colleges adding beach volleyball every year. And we have 9 of our players out of the Midwest going to play D1 beach volleyball in college, which is an amazing opportunity. How we talked about those high levels in California. California also was a great opportunity for some exposure to college coaches. There's tons of college coaches walking around and watching you play. Personally, my partner and I had, at one point, probably 5 or 6 college coaches watching our game. So I just think that extra exposure is really awesome that we get that experience, since not a lot of players in the Midwest have the opportunity to be able to go play beach in college. We're really exposed to something unique here.
For me, Team 1 isn't just volleyball. I've grown so much as a person and just realized so much more about myself and what I can do through being here, through the friendships that I've made, through the lessons that I've learned. Team 1 discovery, on the court and beach. There's just so much that you can get from here that you're not going to get anywhere else, that I value so much and I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest things that really sticks out to like everybody is that Team 1's more than just a volleyball club. Like it benefits you in more ways than just becoming a better volleyball player. Like you become a better person overall.
Team 1 offers both indoor and beach volleyball training. So here we have 2 indoor sand courts, and there's like some of the deepest sand that you can ever get in here. So what that means is you go in there and it's really hard to jump, it's really hard to train in, but it's really beneficial for both conditioning and when you get out on the beach and you're playing in a tournament.
I really love Team 1 because there's just so much, there's just like so many different parts of volleyball, like sand volleyball, that we've been introduced to, like not just the physical part of the game, but the mental part of the game as well. We do a lot of training like outside of volleyball in our heads because it just totally helps us come together as a team. And once everybody's on the same page mentally, you can just totally see it happen on the court. Like from the beginning, we had 3 new players for 16s then that were coming from like all different clubs, and we just like kind of were thrown into a team that was together from last year. I'm one of the 3 new players, and it was just like, at first it was a little hard because we had to like kind of resync everything and get everybody on the same page, but I couldn't imagine like the success we had at the end of the season if we hadn't have worked on our mental game as well as our physical game together. The benefits of being part of Team 1, there's a few. Like this program that's offered here, Team 1 Discovery, it's a program that helps you to discover who you truly are, not just as a volleyball player, but as a person as well. You build a lot of mental strength there and mental confidence that totally helps you in your indoor game, in your any game, any part of your life really. And
one of my goals is to go play beach volleyball in college, and I have a few challenges, one being that I'm 5'4", and it's kind of hard for shorter players to get into college, but I have a really strong desire to go play in college, and the coaches here believe in me, and they have put a lot of time and effort into helping me train to become better. And I believe that if I keep training with these coaches and all of their help, I believe that I can do it.
Yeah, and Peyton's like outstanding. In the sports world, you wouldn't totally like look at a shorter player being like super great at attacking or anything like that normally a taller player would do. But in our 16s program, she take note that she's only gonna be a sophomore. She was brought up into 16s, and she was our top attacking player of the year because she knew exactly where to place the ball. She knew exactly where her opponents weren't, and for that she was super successful in all of our Chicago tournaments. She either placed like first, second, and third, or first mainly in all of them. Like, she was super successful, and you could totally see that she's gonna achieve her goals because she's just totally taking advantage of this program that we have here. So yeah.
If you're considering whether you should go to Team 1 or a different club, I just want to tell you that I went through that same experience thinking I wasn't sure if I was going to go to Team 1 or a different club. I just want to tell you that Team 1 is so worth it, and everything about it is just amazing. The coaches are so dedicated towards helping you, and you work on your strength training and your mental training, and every single component about Team 1 is just amazing, and you can't really get it anywhere else.
So before I came to Team 1, I had to make the decision to go either play travel softball or play travel volleyball. And if I chose the other direction, I don't know what would have happened. Like, there's nothing wrong with like travel softball, but like, I know if I stayed in that path, first of all, I wouldn't have met so many great people like my coaches or like fellow players. I wouldn't have learned so much about life and so much about myself that I could have through that sport. So yeah, like Team 1, you just can't really like find like another place like it because you're never forced to do anything. Nothing's like ever really held against you, and you're allowed to like be who you are and love the game and play the game, be friends with like everybody, and whatever you put in is what you'll get out. So you can take it for what it is. You could go there and just like be a part of Team 1 Discovery. You don't have to be a part of Team 1 Discovery. Nothing's like forced on you. You don't have to play beach volleyball. It's just like a place where you can just like kind of figure out what you like, what you don't like, but all the while just like having fun, working hard, and just being a part of such a great place and a great community of so many great people. So that's all we can really say about how great it is, but the only way for you to truly know how great it is if you come to the tryout and decide for yourself. So hope to see you this year.